If you accidentally pick this thing up on the beach, your time left to live can only be counted in minutes. It looks like a gorgeous souvenir, right? Dead wrong. The moment you pick it up, you have just activated the ocean's most ruthless killing machine. A poison-tipped spear shoots out, piercing right through your glove, and your respiratory system will completely shut down. No anti-venom, no cure. The thing fitting right in the palm of your hand can take down 10 grown adults. What is it that is so terrifying? When it comes to the scariest monsters in the ocean, what do you think of? Giant white sharks chewing up surfboards? Or a giant squid with tentacles 33 feet, which is about 10 meters, long, waiting to drag you into the abyss? Forget them. Hollywood lied to you. The most ruthless, efficient, and terrifying killer at the bottom of the sea does not have giant teeth at all. It does not even know how to swim. You heard that right. This apex predator sluggishly drags itself across the sandy bottom. Introducing the cone snail family. Just look at this colorfully spotted shell. It is the perfect proof of the saying, looks can kill. Except, it is the other guy doing the dying. It looks ridiculously harmless. Just a squishy blob of meat. Speed? It definitely could not win a race against a turtle with a dislocated joint. It looks exactly like a free snack laid out for any fish swimming by. But do not let that deceptive appearance gaslight you. Because any stupid fish that tries to take a bite out of it for breakfast will instantly become dinner for the snail itself. And here is where the ocean paradox comes in. The question is, why? Nature's rule of survival is very practical. Hunters like sharks are equipped with terrifying speed to chase prey. So why did Mother Nature create a creature so pitifully slow, but give it a biological weapon powerful enough to take down 10 healthy men all at once? Why does a tiny snail need venom more deadly than a king cobra? Is it afraid its prey will run away? The chilling truth is, it never bothers chasing anyone. Instead of wasting energy on a pursuit, this slow snail chooses to become the deadliest sniper in the ocean. And the way it hunts, I swear, will give you goosebumps. Let us see how this sluggish assassin executes a fish that swims 100 times faster than it does. This game of life and death is divided into 4 levels. At each level, the horror is pushed to a whole new height. Level 1, the death radar. You think a hunter must have cold, piercing eyes like an eagle. Dead wrong. This snail is practically blind. It does not need to see you. Instead, it extends a tiny muscular tube called a siphon. Do not underestimate it. This tube acts like an ultra-modern biological chemical detection radar system. When night falls, a little fish is sleeping soundly. The cone snail sniffs it out. It starts to drag itself, slowly, closing in on the target. Imagine this. In the pitch black of the ocean floor, there is a blob of meat creeping toward you at a snail's pace, but with the malice of a demon. It is exactly like how your boss hovers right behind your back while you are secretly scrolling through social media, quiet, slow, but full of murderous intent. Level 2, the armor-piercing torpedo. Once in range, the snail does not open its mouth to bite. Biting is so old school. It unleashes a much more terrifying weapon, a modified tooth shaped like a spear. Under a microscope, this spear is hollow, razor-sharp, and has a backward-facing barb just like a harpoon. Its launch speed? 1 millisecond. Blink and you miss it. This spear shoots out with the acceleration equivalent to a rifle bullet, easily piercing right through the toughest fish scales. Once the spear is buried deep in the flesh, the barb pops open. The fish is hooked tight. Game over. Level 3. The frozen feast. Wait a minute. Fish are very strong thrashers, right? It could totally just swim away and drag the snail through the sand, right? This is where the dark magic comes in. The moment the spear hits, it turns into a lethal hypodermic needle. A dose of venom is pumped straight into the prey's bloodstream. The unlucky fish twitches exactly once, then completely freezes. Total lockdown. Lights out instantly. Every muscle is paralyzed in less than a second. It cannot swim, cannot thrash, cannot breathe. But the scariest part is, it is still conscious. It knows it is about to die, but it cannot move even a single fin. Talk about pure despair, right? Level 4, the swallowing black hole. The creepiest part begins. When the prey is stiff, the membrane around the snail's mouth slowly expands, expanding more and more. It stretches to an absurd degree, like a giant sack, slowly covering the fish. Can you imagine a creature swallowing prey twice the size of its own body? The cone snail can. It swallows the frozen fish whole into its stomach. The meal takes place in a terrifying silence. No gore, no struggling. Just a giant mouth slowly swallowing a victim with its eyes still wide open. In the blink of an eye, the pathetic snail has taken down a fast opponent. A perfect assassination, leaving no trace. But to keep you watching this video, I have to ask you a question. What actually happened inside the fish's body the moment it froze? What on earth is that venom made of to trip the breaker of life so fast? And most importantly, what would that fluid do if it were pumped into a human body? So, what kind of dark magic made the fish freeze so fast? Let us turn on the microscope and look straight into this toxic cocktail. Science calls this venom conotoxins. Sounds fancy and sophisticated, right? But its cruelty is not sophisticated at all. You see, most venomous animals, like snakes or spiders, usually only use one or two main toxins to take down their prey. But the cone snail is different. This sluggish killer is a maniac for the total destruction style. It does not use a single toxin. A single drop of its venom is a blend of hundreds, even thousands of microscopic and ultra-powerful toxins. Imagine it like this, to make it easy to understand. If snake venom is a sniper burying a single bullet into you, then cone snail venom is like being attacked by a sniper, a flamethrower, grenades, and an armored tank battalion, all at the same time. When the poison enters, the prey's body is bombarded from all sides, not knowing what to react to first. The defense system instantly reports an overload error. But what exactly do they do inside the body? Your body, or the fish's body, is controlled by the brain. The brain sends commands to the muscles through a complex network of nerves. It is like a high-speed fiber optic internet system. For the signal to travel, it needs to pass through microscopic gates called ion channels. And guess what? Conotoxins are the sharks biting through those underwater fiber optic cables. Each type of toxin in that deadly cocktail is specifically designed to lock down a different type of ion channel. Sodium gate, locked. Potassium gate, shut down too. Calcium gate, completely sealed. Every signal transmission line from the brain to the muscles is snipped in less than a split second. Network down. Screen goes black. The fish completely loses the ability to control its body, even though its brain is still screaming frantically, "Swim away! Run away now!" That is not all. The cone snail gang has another super bizarre scientific plot twist. Some species do not like to play violent from the start. They use a much more next-level psychological manipulation trick, dropping an insulin bomb. That is right, the exact same hormone that helps humans balance their blood sugar levels. The snail will sneakily release a massive amount of ultra-strong insulin, their own special variant, into the water around a school of fish. What happens? The fish breathe it in and suffer a sudden drop in blood sugar. They fall into a sluggish state of shock, swimming wobbly, losing their direction, just like a bunch of drunks. Yes, you heard that correctly. There are snails that catch fish by forcing them into a diabetic shock. When the victim is completely wasted and unconscious, the deadly membrane web slowly covers them. Neat, elegant, and incredibly cruel. By now, have you seen the chilling sophistication of Mother Nature? But the story has not reached its climax yet. Because if hundreds of those toxins can take down a swimming fish in the blink of an eye, what would happen if that spear did not pierce a fish scale, but buried itself right into your flesh? Among more than 900 species of cone snails crawling on the ocean floor, there is one godfather that you absolutely, permanently, never want to cross paths with. It is the worst nightmare of every diver, an assassin that leaves no trace. Introducing the geography cone snail, or its scientific name, Conus geographus. The diving community whispers a chilling nickname just for it, the cigarette snail. Why? Urban legend has it that if you are unlucky enough to get stung by this snail, the time you have left alive on this earth is just enough to finish smoking one cigarette. Once you finish that smoke, you will be checking out for good. Sounds badass like a Hollywood action movie, right? But what about the scientific truth? The truth is, it is not quite that fast, but the way it sends you to the afterlife is 10,000 times more haunting. Imagine this scenario. You are diving at a gorgeous tropical coral reef. You see a snail shell about the size of a hand, with a fancy spotted brown and white net pattern. You excitedly pick it up, stuff it in your swimsuit pocket, or grip it tightly in the palm of your hand to bring ashore and flex on social media. Are you confident because you are wearing thick diving gloves? Sorry, it is useless. The poison-tipped spear of the geography cone snail is designed like a super-armored hypodermic needle. It is strong enough to pierce right through a thick layer of specialized neoprene rubber diving gloves. Zap! A tiny sting. Very light. So light that you just think you accidentally brushed your hand against a sharp edge of the coral reef. But you are dead wrong. That is exactly the kiss of death. Just minutes after you surface to the shore, the nightmare begins. First, the bite goes numb. You shrug it off. But that numbing sensation quickly crawls up your arm like a swarm of invisible fire ants. It spreads to your chest. Your eyes start to blur. Your tongue swells and ties up. You panic and want to scream for help. You cannot make a sound. Then comes the feeling of absolute terror. Shortness of breath. You gasp, trying to catch some air, but your chest is stiff and refuses to move. Remember that snipping the nerve fiber optic cable mechanism I mentioned earlier? That is right. The venom is frantically turning off every switch in your body one by one. And the most fatal switch that just got shut down is your diaphragm, the automatic pumping machine that helps you breathe. You are completely awake. Your brain is aware of everything around you, but you are slowly suffocating right there on dry land. You collapse. Someone calls for an ambulance. Sirens blare as they rush you to the hospital. You are saved now, right? Do not celebrate just yet. The doctor looks at you, you look at the doctor, and both of you sink into despair. Because the most brutal truth is, in this world, there is no antivenom for cone snails. Modern medicine, with all of its most advanced technology, has to throw its hands up in defeat. There is no magic pill that can neutralize the venom of that sluggish creature. The doctor can only do one thing: hold you down, intubate you, hook you up to a ventilator, filter your blood, and pray. They have to keep your heart beating and your lungs pumping oxygen with machines, hoping your body is strong enough to flush that demonic cocktail out on its own after a few days, or a few weeks. What if the ventilator malfunctions? Or your body gives out first? Game over. A slow creature, the size of a fist, that cannot swim, can force a human, the species that claims to dominate this planet, to lie helpless on a hospital bed, fighting for every breath. Do you see how terrifying the ocean is now? At this point, you probably think this monster should go extinct, right? Hold on. Do not be so quick to judge, because nature's greatest plot twist is waiting for you in the very next part. After everything you just heard, you are probably thinking, exterminate this species right now, right? But wait a minute. Put that anger away, because this cold-blooded killer is actually an angel in a white coat, saving millions of lives. An epic comeback from Mother Nature. Remember its super precise snipping the nerve fiber optic cable mechanism from earlier? Scientists looked at that deadliness and came up with a crazy idea. If it can block all motor signals, then could it also block pain signals traveling to the brain? And so, they rushed into the laboratory, extracted a tiny fragment from those thousands of toxins, and created a miraculous medical drug called ziconotide. Its power blows away all records. This drug extracted from cone snail venom has a pain-killing effect 1,000 times stronger than morphine. This is truly a saving miracle for cancer or spinal cord injury patients suffering from the worst chronic pain imaginable. And here is the ultimate, craziest twist. Completely unlike morphine, the venom from this snail is absolutely not addictive. The ocean is so ironic, right? The creature that brings you the most suffocating and terrifying death is actually the greatest key to freeing humans from agonizing pain. The Grim Reaper and the Saving Angel, it turns out sometimes they are only separated by one gorgeous spotted snail shell on the beach. So, the question is, Next time you are strolling on the beach and come across a gorgeous spotted shell lying exposed on the sand, what will you do? Bend down and pick it up for a social media flex, or turn around and run for your life? Confess truthfully in the comments section below and let me know. But remember, the deep ocean does not just have this slow assassin. Down at the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, there are still bizarre things that bend all the laws of physics. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell right now so you do not miss our next deadly scuba diving trip.